I've met a few cows and they're kind of brain dead, but but I mean,
Yeah, do you think that what
inbreed them anyway. So I
we
mean,
do inbreed them? Like, what if I found I went to like a royal family that had a lot of inbreeding and they were dumb, like a human? Like, could I eat them? So do you guys like animals?
I do. I really like cats.
Cats.
I love animals. I feel like whenever, like, coming from Texas, like, growing up there, I just remember growing up with a lot of, like, animals and stuff around the deer. And people would hunt the deer, and I'd be so mad. I would be so sad whenever I'd hear about people, like, going hunting and stuff.
Do you like animals?
I love animals.
Yeah. All animals, or
Yeah, that's why I don't hunt or I can't have a pet and eat it. It's like, I'm not a farmer, that's for sure.
so? Do you think like if you love animals, does it make sense to pay for them to be mutilated?
No. I mean, we got to eat.
What do you think about like the animals?
Well, as far as the animals go, I think that I think humans have been eating animals as far as time goes back.
Yeah, I think you're right. Do you think that means that we should continue to do it?
I think it's a personal choice, depending on how healthy you want to be. I wouldn't consider veganism as a thing to save the animals, because that's never going to happen. You know, humans have been eating animals for millions of years, but I think veganism would be a choice as far as your health goes.
If you love animals, does it make sense to pay for them to be mutilated?
No.
Okay. What do you think?
I think there's better ways of doing it in the way that things have turned in a modern sense. It's don't ask, don't tell. It's very it's separate from like
It's like hidden.
yeah. If we saw like what was going on, if it was more out in the open, I feel like people would change the way their relationship with food.
Do you think we need to eat meat?
There's a trick question. I mean, I don't think, no. I mean, I think the human body can survive without it, but
Do you think you could survive and thrive without it?
if I was brought up that way, probably. I mean, I was brought up, eating meat was part of the diet.
So do you think that so most vegans, including myself, we're not born vegan? You know, we kind of made the switch later in our lives after learning about the industry. So do you think that just because I grew up eating meat mostly, does that mean that I need to continue to?
No. I mean, it can be a choice, and I think everything in life is a choice.
Do you think that don't ask, don't tell, is that a good policy, or is it time to move on?
Been a good policy.
It's not good, but I mean, I hate to all your viewers. I'm sorry. It's just something that I do.
Sure.
World.
Everything is a choice. Yeah. Do you think that going vegan is like a personal choice?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if I went and one of my friends had a dog, and I started beating up their dog, and they asked me to stop, and I said it's my personal choice. What do you think about that?
I think you would be. I don't want to use cuss words, but that'd be pretty ignorant. Ignorant would be the word for it.
So what about that is wrong?
Beating up an animal is just wrong.
To me, veganism is an ethical stance against animal abuse. And yeah, you're right that people have been eating animals for millions of years, and that, we're never going to get everyone to stop, right? But you could also say the same thing for people murdering each other. People have been murdering each other since the beginning of time. Not everyone is ever going to stop murdering people. Does that mean that it gives us the right to do it?
No, I think it's a human condition. I think people are just going to murder people. It's
Right. But that doesn't justify us doing it.
No.
No, I understand. I used to eat meat as well, so I totally understand where you're coming from. So I kind of want to get, to me, I feel like I had a lot of good reasons for eating meat in my head. So I'm curious what yours are.
I hate vegetables. I don't eat vegetables. I don't think I've eaten a vegetable in 10 years. I just really, really hate it. And people try to give me vegan food. They try, and I
make them veggie soup, but I put bacon in it.
And I just eat around the vegetables.
Would you ever eat a cat or a dog?
No.
Do you think there's a moral distinction between a cat and a pig or a cow?
Another tough one.
I know, I'm full of them.
Another tough one. Not really.
You hate vegetables. Do you think that that's all that vegans eat?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you think it makes a difference to the animal if we used every part of them, or if not? Like, if they're already dead, does it make a difference
I think it would make a difference
to the animal?
to the animal. I mean, sadly, we're taking this life, but I mean, if it serves its purpose.
You mentioned culture. Do you think the fact that something is cultural, does that like justify it?
I think a culture comes from tradition and culture. The way we do culture here is very different from different ways that other people do culture. But culture comes from doing things that are traditional, but also it's the baton that's being handed down. And so we have a different culture that we are cultivating within our generation, within the different generations. So culture can change.
Absolutely.
Change for positive to better impact everybody. And I feel like the culture is something that everybody, it's something that everybody, it's there, and it's always there, and it's always something that
It's almost like our responsibility to kind of move forward and evolve with the culture. Because if we look like, gay marriage wasn't even legal till what, 2010 or something?
14, I think.
2014? Oh my God.
our lifetime.
Yeah, so like if people hadn't fought for that change, it wouldn't have happened. So I think it is kind of our duty to keep progressing further and further with morality and seeing kind of what's best for not only us, but the animals as well. Do you think the animal wants to serve that purpose? Like, for example, if I killed and used every part of you, what would you think about that?
Yeah, a good one. I mean, if you can find a use for every part of me, that would be great.
You're down for that?
I don't go for, like you said, kill though. Yeah. So there's a difference. I'm human, and the animal can't necessarily tell me that fuck you, you're gonna kill me.
Do you think there is a humane way to kill an animal?
I've never really thought about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So how would you kill the cow humanely? Like specifically?
It couldn't be a slow death. It would have to be, I think, to kill an animal humanely for food or for food purposes, it couldn't be anything that's slow, and it would have to be very, very like
So if it's like quick and painless, it's humane? What do you think?
I don't think so. I know exactly what you mean.
It's all very philosophical. I'm sorry. Like, I can't just answer these questions because, it's
You have
like,
to think about them.
Yeah, I don't know if you can kill an animal humanely, but I don't know.
Do you know what humane means?
Well, it would mean no pain.
Yeah.
What we all want is to believe that they're raised and fed properly, but we all know that the reality is they're not.
Yeah. We all want to believe they're like sung to sleep, like happily and everything like that. So you don't believe what the meat industry tells you about that?
No.
These are questions I've thought about a lot, and I appreciate I'm like kind of putting you guys on the spot, just like asking answers, because like you haven't really thought about it as much. But like if you look up humane in the dictionary, right? It means compassionate or benevolent. Do you think you can compassionately take the life of an animal who doesn't want to die?
I couldn't. I know I couldn't.
Do you think anyone could? Like compassionate killing?
Yeah, I mean, maybe if your animal was like really sick, like I put my cat down and it was really hard for me.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So like if it's in the animal's best interest, then it could be compassionate.
Yeah. No, but I guess if it's fine, it's not very compassionate.
One question I do have is, for somebody like me that likes to travel a lot, I think that if I were a vegan, like it would be hard to feed myself. Like say you were on the interstate from point A to point B and it was maybe 3 hours.
Yeah.
Where are you going to find something vegan? Maybe you could just order fries at the restaurant, but that's not nutrition.
That's yeah.
Where do you get your protein?
Absolutely, yeah. So the other amazing thing about kind of this time period we're in is that, like, say you're driving on the interstate, you can go to Burger King, get the Impossible Whopper, get it without cheese, without mayo, and that's vegan. Taco Bell's got like a ton of vegan options. Subway does. McDonald's is releasing their new McPlant. It's going to be like a vegan burger. So all these places have options. You just need to know how to ask, and that's something that's definitely like part of the learning curve. And as far as traveling, like whenever I go to a city, there's a website called happycow.net, and it has people like review the best vegan restaurants. They take pictures and post like what's really good. So wherever you go, you can see what your options are. It's really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I travel a lot and because I don't like limiting myself on like things, and I really want to like try everything. I'm too ADD that I will try anything, and I will.
Would you try eating cat?
No.
Okay.
Not pets, and that's what I feel. You know, I feel when we think of it that way, it's very. You know.
Yeah, I mean, no, you're right. Like, it's like, why do we prefer cats over cows? But
it's probably because they purr.
Do. Yeah, they're really cute.
Do you have any pets or like a connection with animals?
I'm a cat lady.
Cat lady?
I got 3 of them inside. We're cat people.
So do you ever like go to the vet with your cats?
Yeah.
Do they get scared or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
How do you feel when you see them like that?
Well, you know, I sympathize with them. I understand it, though. They're around strangers in a strange place.
And you understand that it's the best for them.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think they know something's going to get stuck up their butt, so they...
Do you think there's a moral difference between pet animals and like farm animals?
I'm not a farmer, so I mean, I couldn't be a farmer. That's I can honestly tell you that I couldn't.
Yeah. Because you couldn't take the life of an animal yourself?
No.
The way I think about it is that, like, whenever I'm around my dog at the vet, like, he's so scared and sad, and then I think about animals in slaughterhouses, and I think about paying for animals to feel that way. What do you think about that?
Do those animals that are getting slaughtered even know? You think about, are they intelligent enough to know? Like, I think elephants are intelligent enough to know.
Sure.
But as a cow, as a chicken?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And to me, like,
It really
doesn't matter if they're intelligent.
doesn't, yeah.
Well, if you think about it, like when they go to a slaughterhouse, like they're around their friends and family, and they can see what's coming ahead. They can smell the blood, and when they pull up in the truck, they see like the bones and this. So,
I think they could probably smell something.
do you think that it's fair for us to pay for the animals to go through that if we're not willing to do it?
Wow.
I know these are deep questions.
No, I mean, to pay for the animal. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I've met a few cows and they're kind of brain dead, but but I mean,
Yeah. Do you think that like what
inbreed them anyway? So I
we
mean,
do inbreed them? Like, what if I found like I went to like a royal family that had a lot of inbreeding and they were dumb, like a human? Like, could I eat them?
I think we should, but
Eat the royals, eat the monarch.
I mean, no, that's a good one, but no, I mean,
So is it safe to say that moral worth or worth of life shouldn't be determined by your level of intelligence?
yeah, I mean, that's for sure.
I think for me personally, and just like kind of what's been embedded in my childhood and like culture and stuff, like it'd be a very tough decision for me to make that. It's a lifestyle change.
Yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle change for sure. I will say that before you go vegan, it's very daunting, right? It's like, oh my God. Like, I didn't even think I was capable of it because, like, I'm really lazy, you know? Like, my clothes have been in the dryer for, like, 3 days. Like, I just don't want to fold them. But it's actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. And as far as, like, limiting yourself, like, to me, freedom is really important. Like, I love freedom. Like, I love living in New Orleans because people can just do whatever they want here. And but every time I was buying meat, I was paying for an animal to have their freedom stripped from them, to be forced into a cage, to be forced into a slaughterhouse, and have their life taken for my brief pleasure. So I think if you do value freedom, it makes sense to grant that to other living beings. What's more important taste or the life of an animal?
Animals, darn it. You're going to make me turn vegan all of a sudden. I'm going to start crying over an animal.
How does that help, though, if everybody's eating meat anyway? Like, you're not participating. Does it really...
That's a great question.
Yeah,
So I was like, okay, there's no way that like one person can make a difference, right? Yeah, but the thing about it is like supply chains are pretty advanced now. You know, you go to the grocery store, like they keep really good track of inventory, and they're not going to order things if they can't sell them. So if you don't, say you go and instead of buying ground beef, you buy the Beyond Beef, right? You're decreasing the demand for the beef and increasing the demand for the plant-based. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. So like if you think about voting, what you vote like every year maybe, you're voting multiple times a day over and over. Yeah.
Stock more often.
Every time you choose plant-based versus animal, you're saying either I want to live in a world where animals are abused for my pleasure, or I don't. I want to live in a world that's better for the animals, better for humans, and it's an easy choice when you think about it like that. Do you think you would ever consider giving up eating animals in the future?
I'd be willing to try it. I don't know how sustainable it would be. I've eaten meat all my life,
Yeah, so had I.
but it's something to try.
Do you have any like moral arguments against veganism, or any like good reasons not to be from like a moral standpoint?
No, not at all. No, I think I think it's I have to think about it more, but it's definitely the right thing to do.
If you could push a button and the entire world would go vegan, which is to say no animals would be abused for fur, for food, for entertainment, is that a world you would rather live in?
That's a lot of... I don't know. Well, people up north need fur a lot more than we do down here, so I don't know.
Well, now there's synthetic fur and stuff.
There's plenty of cotton and stuff, I guess. That's a tough one.
What do you think is more important? Your taste buds or the life of animals?
I mean, yeah, like if we think about it, and it kind of makes me feel like shit, but it's...
I'm not trying to make you feel bad, just to be clear.
No, yeah, but like if you ask me that question, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's like, it's not technically the right thing to do if I'm somebody that says I like animals, which I do.
If I gave you some information, would you maybe watch some of the videos of what they do in the U.S.?
If you want to give it to me, I'll share it with my friends, and then maybe they'll all consider.
That'd be awesome, yeah. All right, well, yeah, I guess let's cut it there. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Natalie. Have a good day.